Hello, everyone. My name is Tiki, and, well, I'm a Jurassic apologist.
And my name is PerGron, and I am also a Jurassic apologist.
Hi, PerGron. You're among friends. Okay, PerGron, literally, I was so convinced that this movie was going to be bad that I almost suggested to you, like, do you want to do, like, a Jurassic World funeral? Do you want to do it so where it's like, okay, we are vowing to never see another one of these stupid movies? But no.
It was good, actually.
This movie's like a solid 6 out of 10, maybe even a light 7. And for Jurassic Park, it's fucking a masterpiece.
It's as good as the original trilogy, barring the first one. Like, this is the Jurassic sequel that I have been waiting for a long time.
I'm going to go out on a limb here. My second favorite Jurassic movie has always been Jurassic Park 3, just on the basis of it being like a really fun B movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think this movie's better than Jurassic Park 3. I think this movie has slightly better dinosaur action. It definitely has better characters.
Yes.
The plot is like equally as stupid, but at least it's not like borderline a waste of time excuse to just get to the island. Like,
right.
You know, like at least there's like they try to have some stakes for why they are there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. First of all, I think it'd be kind of interesting to go through our thoughts on the original Jurassic World trilogy, you know, the second trilogy. Oh my God, this thing is so muddy at this point that it's like, okay, not the first trilogy, the second trilogy.
Right.
So for me, like, the original Jurassic World was one of my most hyped up movies just straight up ever. Just the idea of seeing a full-fledged, fully operating Jurassic theme park is just something that ever since I was a child, I wanted to see on the big screen. And the movie fucking sucked. I mean, there are a couple good moments. It had a good finale. You know, the theme park stuff that was there was for the most part well executed. But man, the characters were flat, and I hated the subplot with Vincent D'Onofrio and we should weaponize raptors.
Right.
Fallen Kingdom was like slightly better just in the fact that it was more of a B movie. It was silly. But honestly, I think out of all of them, Forgotten Kingdom is probably the most forgettable. But then Dominion, I'm actually an apologist for Dominion as well, believe it or not. For one reason and one reason only, and this is a very shallow reason, all right? It's because they were able to bring back the 3 legacy characters from the original trilogy and have them actually interact with each other in a meaningful way throughout the movie. Guess what, PerGron? That's something that the Star Wars sequel trilogy never managed. So I'm like, you know what? I don't give a shit how stupid the Locust subplot is. I don't give a shit how this movie like does not do anything with the actual premise of dinosaurs roaming around the entire world. I got to see Alan Grant, Ellie Sattler, and Ian Malcolm interacting with each other in a substantial way. That's all I know. But you know what? Now we get to this movie, and I'm like, oh, okay, here we go. When the reviews started rolling out, I was just like, oh God, it's going to be bad again. But I think at this point, it's just kind of like the critics are just...
They're not in it. They're not here. It's fine. Yeah, I mean, I was stoked for the original Jurassic World. I was 16 when it came out, so it was my first Jurassic movie that I got to see in theaters, like on the initial run. We got out of school on a half day because it was finals. And so we did our final, and my friends and I walked from the high school to the movie theater to go see Jurassic World. And I caught it 8 times in theaters. I loved it.
I caught it once in theaters. I think I've ever only sat down and watched it the one time, honestly.
I unsubscribed to Jeremy Johns because he gave it a negative review.
I vividly remember that. I vividly remember he gave it a good time if you're drunk.
And over the years, it's a movie that I enjoy from the pure stupidity factor of like, this is a dumb B monster movie. And I think it's the least egregious of the three personally. I do think the finale is fun. I like Blue the raptor. I like as an animal trainer myself, I like that. Even if they do it entirely incorrectly and he's gonna get himself fucking murdered.
Right.
But I like the Indominus Rex. I like how dumb it is. I don't like Chris Pratt as a character. I don't like Bryce Dallas Howard's character. But yeah, I think Jurassic World is okay. It's a fun enough movie. Fallen Kingdom is one of those guilty pleasure movies that is just really dumb. I really enjoyed how dumb this movie was. It feels like it's barely a movie. Like it barely has a third act. It's crazy how little of an third act this movie has. And Dominion, I just fucking hate. I hate Dominion with every fiber of my being.
The original characters didn't do it for you?
No.
Yeah.
No, I got into Dominion and I walked out and I asked my friend who went to see it, I'm like, where were the fucking dinosaurs? Why were there no dinosaurs in the dinosaur? I felt like Ian Malcolm in the first movie. There are going to be dinosaurs in your dinosaur movie, right?
Right.
I watched like the extended version on Peacock when it came out, and I thought it was better. They added more dinosaur stuff, but still, I hate that movie. I was so crushed when this was announced. I'm like, it's gonna fucking suck. They've ruined Jurassic. So I was fucking pissed when all the reviews were out and they're like, oh, this is bad. It's the worst one yet. I think they're all smoking crack. This was fucking awesome.
So, like, yeah, and let's get into it because I really feel like across the board, like, let's be honest, this movie, if we're being generous, it's probably like a mid 7 out of 10 at best, right?
I think it's like, if you're looking at it as a movie perspective, yes, I gave it an 8 or like a 4-star just because I had a lot of fun with it. But it is like, it's not a 4-star movie if we're looking at it through how good it is as much as how much fun I had. I would say, yeah, 6 or 7 probably on like a score.
I just think across the board, like, let's just get into it. Like, the dino action.
Fucking, I mean, that mosasaur scene at the like the first mosasaur scene, I'm like, they finally made this thing worth existing. Like it has not done anything in this entire franchise, barring eating the fucking babysitter and then eating the Indominus Rex so that they could wrap it up easily.
I would say that cold open scene he has in the first
Fallen,
movie,
yeah,
in Fallen Kingdom, yeah, was pretty cool.
But like this felt like Jaws almost. Like this was a Jaws moment.
I don't think it was as good of a Jaws moment as like the stuff in Godzilla -1 on the boat.
No.
But it's still in that kind of like category of like nice Jaws homage.
Yeah, they're going after it. They make it so. I think one of the things I like about this movie is that they're animals. They get to be animals while also getting to be like terrifying monsters.
And I was thinking about you when I was watching it because I was like, my God, like, I'm not saying that they set up this world to be like, you know, like a fully immersive, like natural ecosystem like the Avatar movies do. But my God, it's the closest that we've ever gotten to something like that in the Jurassic movies. Like, there is so much cool shit in this movie just based around the idea that the dinosaurs are in their natural habitat.
I loved seeing the mosasaur jumping out of the water, like just doing whale breaching. Like that is something that the mosasaur would have done historically. Like they very much were the reptilian whales of the Mesozoic. So watching it do breaching behaviors and stuff, and yes, they get to do some murder moments with it, but it felt like this was an animal they were encountering more than it was like this horrible monster that they make it out to be in the World movies.
Yeah, just by and large, I feel like all the dinosaurs, for the most part, except for the ones that are literally meant to be like B-movie
Right.
monsters
Yeah.
that we get at the end, are very naturalistic with how
Yeah,
they
the
behave.
T-Rex rolling. I'm jumping ahead of myself a little bit, but the T-Rex rolling around in the grass as it sleeps,
Mhm,
that was
mhm.
adorable. It was awesome. And it's realistic. The Spinosaurus swimming. I don't know that they would team up with a mosasaur. I don't know how realistic that is. But Spinosaurus is at this point believed to have been a mostly aquatic fish hunting predator. The fact that the was it Titanosaurus, I think, were the big sauropods.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think that was my favorite scene in the movie.
That scene, I think, came the closest to recapturing the original Brontosaurus scene as
Yeah,
far
I
as
mean they
like,
use the same music, so that's a little bit of a cheap
well, I mean,
shot.
obviously, but like I'm just saying, like as far as like I think the actors really sell the
Yeah.
moment. I think the actual like visuals of what you're actually seeing on
Hmm.
screen. What I love about that scene is that I really feel like Jonathan Bailey's character, and we'll get into the characters in a
Yeah.
bit, but Jonathan Bailey's character in particular, like maybe the rest of the mercenary characters, maybe they would be a little bit more like unfazed by it. But
Right.
Jonathan Bailey's character is set up like he is absolutely the Alan Grant of this movie. Like he is
He
set
even
up to
studied
where,
under him.
yeah, which I do love that little name drop. That was
Um,
cute.
so I want to bring up something just from my world a little bit.
Okay.
Like I really like that in the original Jurassic Park, the Brachiosaurus moment is Alan Grant, a man who has studied dead decay, like dead bones, getting to see a real dinosaur in real life.
Mhm.
That is what makes that scene so amazing. I think this kind of took the next step of, and they say it in the movie. This is him, somebody who has seen dinosaurs,
Yeah.
presumably, but gets to see them in the wild. Like as someone who works in zoos and works with
It'd be like
exotic
you going
wildlife,
on an African
right?
safari.
There's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
there's beauty and amazement of just seeing the animals in general, like at a zoo, and I
Mhm.
think there is extreme value in that for a lot of people. But as someone who sees them every single day, it would not change my perspective of seeing a lion in the wild. Like to me, that
Sure. Sure.
that would blow my mind. So the fact that this guy has seen dinosaurs in the zoo, has seen them in a theme park, probably has even seen them roaming around downtown. Um, he gets to see it in the wild, and I thought that was a really brilliant way of framing that moment, so that we can have our, the Brachiosaurus moment
Or
while
da, da, da,
right,
da,
while
da.
still kind of putting it into the perspective of yes, this would be mind blowing, even though dinosaurs exist on this
Mhm.
planet now.
Mhm. Mhm. All right. One other note about the dinosaur. Well, a couple other notes I wanted to make about the dinosaurs, then we can kind of like transition into more of the human stuff.
Yeah.
That T-Rex raft scene,
Yes.
that gave me the sense of childhood wish fulfillment that I
Mm-hmm.
wanted from the original Jurassic World. That
Mm,
scene, and of course, we know that that scene was taken from the original novel. That
hmm.
scene was the basis for the fucking ride.
Right.
And now to finally see it all these years later, all these decades later, and it's done so well.
Mm,
It's done perfectly. Do
yep.
I wish that the better set of characters in this movie was experiencing it?
Right.
Sure, we'll get into that.
Hmm.
But it really did, because the actual like behavior of the T-Rex, the way that he's like stalking them and toying with them.
Yep. Like it wasn't even a hunt. He was just playing.
Right, exactly. Exactly. That's what made it so cool. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Because like we've seen the T-Rex hunt. We
Mhm.
have seen the T-Rex actively trying to kill. And so getting to see it playing with its food, basically. It clearly ate. It had the Parasaurolophus that was dead. My favorite dinosaur, by the way, if anyone cares. I fucking love Parasaurolophus. I love the big hoof stalk grazers.
Mhm.
But like he had clearly eaten. He was not a hungry T-Rex eating just captive goats. It was him playing, and I thought
Mhm.
that was a really brilliant way of doing it, because that's how predators interact in the wild. They go out and they're like, yeah, I am a murderous animal. My play is violent, but it's still like he wasn't pursuing them. Like he kind of gave up. He's like, all right, they're gone. And he was more interested in the raft too, which was very realistic.
Yes, yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Like the tiny little people are not going to be seen as food for a big animal like that. Like he was after the raft. He's like, oh, that's a big fucking thing. I want to eat it.
I also love the scene where the boyfriend character is taking a piss, and then we see like the raptor thing creep up behind him, but then the pterodactyl thing like sweeps. I think it's a pterodactyl, right? Or am I misremembering?
Quetzalcoatlus, which is a pteranodon.
Okay, that like swoops down and gets it. Like, I don't know, just all that, man. Just all those little. There's a lot of like just little moments in this movie.
I like the Dilophosaurus that's like going after the kid, and then the T-Rex sees the T-Rex, and that's your kind of your oh shit, the T-Rex is here moment. Where it's like the Dilo just turns around. I like that they didn't overdo raptors. I was
gonna say that, and that's a thing that this movie and Jurassic Park 3 actually have in common.
Honestly, this is a little bit early because we're gonna probably do it next week or the week after. Raptors may get a nomination for best cameo. I'm contemplating it. Do I want the Raptors to have best cameo? But I like that they don't overdo it because World just fucking overdid the Raptors. Like I like Blue and also rip Blue because apparently dinosaurs don't survive in the rest of the world.
I know, right?
She's fucking dead, I guess.
I love how it's like we get like a passing mention of Alan Grant. I don't even think John Hammond gets name dropped in this one. I don't think Ian Malcolm gets name dropped in this one.
I think it was just John Grant or Alan Grant.
We certainly like fucking Owen Grady and Claire Dearing. They might as well just have never existed.
In my headcanon, this is straight after 3.
Right. So yeah, and then the other note I want to have before we get into the human characters is some people are criticizing the fact that we don't have enough of like the mutated dinosaur. I really like that we get just a tease of it at the beginning, and then the entire climax is centered on it. I think that was perfect. I think if we would have overdone it, it would have like lost its wow factor.
Right. Like, oh no, the fucking D-Rex is going to be the bad guy, just like the Indominus, just like the Indoraptor, just like
the fucking Joker T-Rex.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? Do you remember that when Colin Trevorrow was like, this dinosaur is like the Joker?
But it's just one of those. I liked it a lot more than I thought I was going to. Like, I did not think that the mutants were going to do it for me, but just having the Raptor Pteranodon hybrids instead of raptors at the end. Giving them the ability to fly.
They fly now.
Yeah, they fly now. But yeah, I like that. I'm like, okay, this adds something. Like, and you get to see the dinosaurs live in the wild and the monsters live where the people did. And I think that's a really interesting dichotomy. Like, the D-Rex would not survive in the wild with these amazing predators.
Sure.
Because it's a fucking hybrid mixed up monster.
Now, if I were to nitpick, I do think that they make too much of a point out of, this island is specifically where they send all the fucked up mutated dinosaurs. Because by and large, they're not.
No.
Really, it's just the dinosaurs that are in the lab. And I kind of think that's maybe a little bit of a crater-sized plot hole of like, okay, what are all these normal-ass dinosaurs?
It could have been Sorna. They could have just done Sorna again.
Right.
And like have a part of the island that they didn't explore. But I kind of just hand-waved it. Like, oh, they're all mutants? Okay. They probably have some mutated gene that doesn't let them survive in captivity well. You know, who knows? Like, it was kind of one of those.
Well, in Pixar terms, Dragon would call it a "we don't care." I wouldn't exactly say it's an enthusiastic "we don't care," but it's we don't care.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Big beluga whale looking motherfucker walking around with 4 arms.
Right.
I do want to mention the opening moment with them, where the guy, it was in the trailer too, but where he's like crying, like, please open the door. That got me. I'm like, oh no. I feel bad.
Before we transition to the human characters really quick.
Yeah.
Let's just talk about like, Gareth Edwards has never been a great director when it
Mhm.
comes to story or characters,
Nope.
right? He's always been a fantastic visual director, though.
Oh my God, yes.
And this is like, I mean, it's right out of his playbook, man. There's so many really cool visuals here.
Mhm.
I adore, like, the one that you're saying where the D-Rex is like coming out through the fog as the guy's stuck behind the door.
Yep.
That's great. But I think one of my favorite shots in the whole movie is when we see that fucking helicopter, and then like we just hear the D-Rex, and then the next thing we see is the D-Rex with the helicopter in its mouth. I'm like, that, like, genuinely some of the best dinosaur shots ever in the franchise.
He does scale so well. My biggest issue with World, like this isn't World to me. This should have been called Jurassic Park Rebirth.
Again, I agree. Why was this even called Jurassic World? Yeah, this absolutely should have been.
To me, this is not a World movie. To me, this is a continuation of the original.
Jurassic Park Rebirth might as well just be called Jurassic Park Reboot at that point. This is basically what this feels like, honestly.
But yeah, like this gave it scale that we haven't seen, honestly, in my opinion, since The Lost World. Like,
yeah, totally.
The dinosaurs feel huge. They feel big. They feel lived in. Like, even though you can tell it's CG and it's not like the amazing practical effects of the first one.
Unfortunately, yeah.
The Titanosaurus feels fucking huge. It doesn't feel like a dude's just in front of a green screen looking at something. The scale feels like this is a massive, massive dinosaur. The Mosasaur feels gigantic. The D-Rex feels gigantic. They feel like they have weight to them. Where all the dinosaurs in the World trilogy don't feel like they have any weight to them at all.
They basically feel like video game characters.
Yeah. Like, why can the raptors tackle and knock over the Indominus Rex? Why is that something they can do?
Right.
Like, they're tiny and this is huge. This animal should have its feet planted, and predators like that are not going to topple it. Like, the characters just don't have like any mass to them. These felt real. Like, in the moment where he's touching the leg, it feels real, just like it felt real in the original, like it felt real in The Lost World, like it felt real in Jurassic Park 3. Like, these felt like real things, and it added a lot to it, because I think the third, like the World trilogy, just really struggled with these feel like CGI.
Definitely. Okay, so a couple comments really quick. Kogia says, I'm still waiting for William H. Macy to come back. Honestly, I'd be down. Maybe give Kirby a redemption arc. I don't know. Little Blue says, do you need a thumbnail made? Nah, Eli, that's fine. If you look, I actually do have a really funny thumbnail on here. But as far as the root image goes, when PerGron and I talk movies, we almost always just do it on camera. So it's fine. Don't worry about it. There is one dinosaur in this movie that I am not a fan of, and that kind of transitions us into the not so good human characters. I was not crazy about Baby Yoda Dino, aka Dolores.
Yeah.
Every time that was on screen, I was like, oh, okay, Jurassic. All right. You're just you want your baby fucking Yoda. All right.
I mean, it's cute, but like they overdid it.
Yeah. Here's the thing with that family, though. All right. I think the two sisters are, by and large, like, they're not terrible. The performances aren't terrible, but they feel like blank slate characters. They don't really need to be there.
Right.
And the boyfriend can be annoying, but I think he's kind of like a Shia LaBeouf when Shia LaBeouf was actually charismatic level of annoying, if that makes sense.
Right.
And I genuinely did get a little bit invested in the little story arc with the dad learning to respect him. And I thought the actor playing the dad was genuinely pretty good.
Yeah.
So, like, even though that family, let's face it, like, by and large, like, it's so fucking stupid why they're even there to begin with. Like, the movie doesn't even really bother to give it an explanation at all.
Right.
But
why are you boating through an illegal illegal
zone? Up in the movie like halfway through the runtime.
Yeah.
But by and large, like, if those are the worst characters in the movie, I did not hate any of them. I think the character I came close to disliking the most was just Dolores, just based on the like obvious, like, oh, okay, this is here for marketing purposes. But
I liked it because it's a ceratopsian that is bipedal, which to my knowledge doesn't exist. So like that was clearly a mutant of some kind. I do think it's insane to me that they just brought a dinosaur off the island and that is never going to come up again. But yeah, I agree that I wish the movie was more focused just on the mercs. Like I think that a version of this movie where the family is cut out entirely and it's just the mercenaries, kind of a Jurassic, kind of a Lost World situation.
Sure, yeah.
I think is a stronger movie. Like I think that version of the movie probably exists in somebody's mind. And I think it's a better movie, but I didn't hate the family as much as a lot of people are.
No, I didn't either.
Like I like the dad quite a bit. I agree. I like the boyfriend. You know who he kind of reminded me of? He kind of reminded me of Dominic Sessa in a way.
Dominic Sessa.
From the Holdovers.
Yeah, I could kind of see that a little bit. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the little girl was my least favorite. I don't know why they had to do the she's not talking suddenly thing.
Honestly, the little girl could have just been cut out entirely. Yeah. I didn't really think the older sister had much to do. I didn't really think she had that much of a screen presence. She needed to be there for the sake of the boyfriend's arc, though.
Unless they wanted to do like
sister could have been cut out entirely.
Honestly, it could have been the dad and his son, and it's just like a son that doesn't. Maybe they're estranged or whatever. But because like I still think you can do the dad learning to respect, but that's fine. You know, however they took it. But I think the little girl probably could have been cut. Yeah. Like obviously, the kids are never going to die in a Jurassic movie. That's not something we're ever going to see.
By the way, speaking of the kids, I think forget about William H. Macy. When the hell are they going to bring back Tim and Lex?
Yeah.
Those are the legacy characters that genuinely I would be curious to see.
Right.
I don't know what the actress playing Lex is doing. I know that the actor who played Tim was in The Social Network.
Yeah,
so
let's see.
You're going to just Google it.
Yeah, let's see. Right. We got Ariana Richards. She is an American painter.
Okay.
Former actress. Now she is a painter.
You can recast her.
Yeah.
I mean, they recast Dotson.
She was born on September 11th, 1979.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Unfortunate birthday. But yeah, recast him for like bring back Tim and recast Lex. Like or maybe she'd come back for a cameo.
Yeah. I've heard ideas of like maybe Tim coming back and being the villain. I think that'd be fun.
I'd like to see them. Yeah, he just works for Dodson now. I fucking hate dinosaurs.
Okay, so yeah, let's get into the mercenary characters, and I agree that like here's the thing, I knew I was going to like Jonathan Bailey in this movie, not just because it's Jonathan Bailey and he's just a really charismatic actor, but because he is filling that Alan Grant archetype of he is the one that actually wants to be there, that respects the dinosaurs. I did not think I was going to like ScarJo in this movie. I'm generally speaking not really that big of a fan of ScarJo. I feel like she kind of she's one of those actresses that kind of rose to fame just on the 2000s, like, oh, she's hot.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I don't ever I honestly think she might have more career, like, not maybe, this isn't like Lost in Translation level Scarlett Johansson. But I think this is better than anything she's done in the MCU, just as far as having screen presence and charisma.
I agree. Yeah, I mean, it's not Jojo Rabbit or Marriage Story, Scarlett Johansson.
Marriage Story, yeah.
But it's I thought she was great. I thought she was a believable character. I thought
she was a more like she has serious moments for sure, but she's more lighthearted.
Yeah,
and she has more jokes.
She was kind of the not the Alan Grant, the Ian Malcolm.
Almost. A little bit, yeah.
Like she kind of carried that like tough guy attitude. But my favorite was Mahershala Ali.
Oh, absolutely. He definitely has the best character arc.
Yes.
He's the most well written. He's the actor that's like taking it the most seriously.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I liked Mahershala Ali. Honestly, I liked the main trio. I like the main trio a lot. I definitely like them more than the main characters in World.
Oh, without a doubt.
Without a billion. And honestly, I think this is the best set of characters since
the original.
Since the original.
I think so too.
I hesitate only
so
because I fucking love Roland Trumbo in the second movie.
Yeah, but the second movie also has a lot of characters that are just kind of nothing.
Yeah, I think it might be the
like
best.
Sarah.
Yeah. And the little girl.
Yeah.
Who
and Joey guy.
Yeah. Roland Trumbo excluded, and even Malcolm isn't as good in the second one.
No, he's not. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think this probably has the best cast since the original, like as a crew.
I will go as far as to say that I think Rupert Friend is the most like enjoyably hateable character we've gotten in this franchise since Gennaro.
Yeah.
Like I really thought they played him up really well. I like the whole conflict with like, you know, him maybe trying to murder the one daughter and that coming back around. Yeah.
I think he and he gets to be on the crew. I appreciate that.
Yeah, like, exactly. Yeah,
he's not like Dodgson in Dominion, where he's just kind of sitting there.
My one nitpick with him is that throughout the whole movie, I was thinking like, oh man, like his death is gonna like blow the babysitter's death out of the water. Like this is gonna be like the most fucking epic death that we've ever seen in any of these movies because they're really dragging out what a piece of shit this guy is. And honestly, I thought his death was maybe one of the most mid in the whole movie.
Yeah. I do like that this movie continues the tried and true trend of having the characters that are there solely to die. And you can see them immedially.
Hi, guy who only speaks a foreign language.
Yeah.
Hi, short-haired mercenary girl.
Yeah. Oh, you guys speak French?
I want to be freaking Top Gun Maverick guy, help me out. Glenn
Powell.
Yeah, I want to be Glenn Powell.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that they but all of them had good deaths. Like fucking Spino taking out Glenn Powell guy was awesome. I'm glad that Spino gets some love again.
The short-haired girl just like fucking like trying to push the raft onto shore and then just,
just watching it like move behind her and you're like,
yeah.
No. And then getting Quetzalcoatlus to eat somebody was cool. We almost never get fucking Pteranodon shit. The movies are always so afraid of doing Pteranodon shit.
Except for Jurassic Park 3, which is one of the reasons why that's also a favorite of mine.
And I guess the scene with the babysitter.
Yes.
Is the babysitter the best scene in World?
Yeah, no, it's gotta be the I-Rex versus T-Rex fight. It's gotta be. Come on.
You're actually wrong. It is the Jimmy Buffett sequence where he's running across the two.
Oh man.
But yeah, no, I really did like the characters. I was surprised how much I did too, because I agree. Like I like ScarJo. I think the MCU never shows off how good she is because like Black Widow was just never a very engaging character, even in her own movie. She always was like, oh, that's the hot one.
Even in her own movie, she's like the least charismatic person in that movie.
Well, you can't put her in there with Florence Pugh and
David Harbour.
Yeah, too much charisma in there.
Right.
But yeah, I thought she was great. I thought Mahershala Ali was great. I thought, even Rupert Friend was a lot of fun. He's probably my favorite villain since Trumbo.
Yeah.
And once again, it should have just been called Jurassic Park Rebirth because there's no reason for this to be tied in with that horrible movie series except the Mosasaur. Like that's the one thing. Like we don't even see any of the other dinos from it. It's just the Mosasaur.
One of the other things I appreciate about this movie is just the simple, like, the plot is basically a video game, right?
Mhm.
Like we have to get the sample from the water dino. We
Yep.
have to get the sample from the land dino. We have to get the sample from the air dino.
Right. Yeah.
Like, because
Yeah.
when you think about the convoluted bullshit that all three of the Jurassic World movies pull in, like, you know, like the Vincent D'Onofrio shit in
Mhm.
Jurassic World, the basically everything about Fallen Kingdom, and then the Lotus stuff in Dominion. No, this movie isn't fucking around with any of that. This
Nope.
movie is just like land dino, air dino, sea dino, go.
We got to get in, grab the dinos, and get out before the asteroid hits.
Definitely not our dino.
Yep. And they got to include other dinos. Like, they didn't just say, all right, these are the only three, which was kind of my big concern.
Yeah,
I was kind of concerned that it was going to be like, oh, it's these three, and then T-Rex is going to show up. But, like, they got to put other things in it. And they didn't overstay their welcome with the mutants. I've never been a fan of the mutant concept or even the hybrid concept.
Mm-hmm.
I get it, unchecked capitalism and all, but like, if they ever make a Jurassic movie where it's human dino hybrids, I might flip a lid. Like, it might actually be, I might crash out. It might not be okay for anybody's mental health to be around me. That is not an idea I will accept.
I mean, you don't like. What about the little girl though? Is that technically like?
It's yeah. No, I hate that concept.
By the way, another like unnecessarily overly convoluted plot point in those movies.
Oh, the little girl's a clone and she's a dino, maybe? Fuck off.
And this guy was John Hammond's partner, and he helped
Yeah.
create the original park, even though we never mention him.
Right, and everyone that knows about the park is on the island.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh, I hate that. I hate the fucking World trilogy. If you supercut all of the action sequences in the World trilogy out, put them into one movie, it would be an absolute blast.
Mm-hmm.
But when you have to watch the movies, they're brutal.
Like, let's just acknowledge, I think the best thing that the World trilogy brought to pop culture is in the theme park landscape. Jurassic World, the ride, absolute banger. The Jurassic World ride in what is it,
Singapore, I think, yeah.
Absolute banger.
Yep.
Velocicoaster, literally far and away the best roller coaster I have ever been on.
I also like what was it, Battle at Rock something?
Battle at Red Rock, I think.
Yeah, that one was good. I like that.
Honestly, I really, like, I was hoping that Jurassic World Dominion was basically going to be a whole movie of that kind of stuff. And it absolutely was not.
Yep. Lego Jurassic World, also quite good. But yeah, no, I was pleasantly surprised, and I think that people should go see this movie. And don't go in expecting like, oh, it's going to be Jurassic Park, because at this point that was lightning in a bottle.
Mm-hmm.
We are not, even Spielberg couldn't do it a second time.
No.
And I love The Lost World.
Even Spielberg already couldn't do it a second time.
Like, I love The Lost World. I think it's probably my second favorite, with this coming in third. I'm just a Lost World guy. I understand it's not very good, but I love it.
I just do not vibe with the characters in that movie.
That's fair.
Man.
That's fair. I like Trumbo. I like the T-Rex in San Diego at the end.
The T-Rex in San Diego is by far the best part. Yeah.
I like the compies that they get brought in, because that was one of my favorite elements of the original book. I wish it was Hammond that got eaten by them, like in the book, but at that point that'll never happen. So he was too good of a friend in the original movie.
Mm-hmm.
But I like Lost World. I think it's my second favorite, but I think this is probably a third favorite, right above Jurassic Park 3 for me. Like, I really like this movie.
Yeah. So yeah, folks, I mean, that's pretty much all we got to say, right? Is there anything that we're forgetting to bring up?
Not really.
I think the Jurassic franchise is in a more healthy spot than
Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters has one good movie.
I don't even like that original movie.
I don't love it. I watch it at Halloween time, and that's pretty much it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Ghostbusters 2, I've not even seen it, but I've heard it's basically just like, hey, let's do the first one again, but bigger, like one of the, like kind of a Jaws 2 sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then Ghostbusters 2016 is Ghostbusters 2016.
Yes, it is.
Afterlife feels like blatant nostalgia bait.
Yep.
And then fucking, I call the last one that came out Ghostbusters. We ran out of ideas, so Frozen's still popular, right?
Ghostbusters. Oops, every character's here. Every fucking one. Literally, there's not a single character missing, except Spengler because he's dead, and I'm surprised they didn't bring him back.
You see, honestly, I would be totally cool with a Jurassic movie doing that.
Oops, all characters. Yeah. I mean, like I guess my
Jurassic Endgame.
I guess my final note is
Nedry's like, look, it's Dodson. We have Dodson here. See, everyone cares.
Now they should do Beetlejuice crossover where it's all of them and how they died.
Oh my god.
And it's Newman with his face covered and eaten.
all right.
I guess on my final note is hashtag rip Rexy. It's too bad you died off screen because you can't exist outside the equator. Go see this movie. It's fun.
Yeah, no, I definitely was surprised. Like I said, I was fully expecting to like come on here and be like, God damn it, I'm done. I'm done. I'm never gonna get suckered in by one of these movies again. But they keep making these movies just fucking good enough. Just good enough.
Right.
But honestly, this is more for me, this is more than just good enough. Like, I'm a big apologist for Dominion just because of I did think the original characters were handled pretty well. But like, this is a genuinely good movie. Dominion was just like, okay, I got what I wanted out of the original characters, so I give it a pass. This is genuinely good.
If you want the fun and campiness of like The Lost World or Jurassic Park 3, and a summer blockbuster, I think this is perfect. I think this is the summer blockbuster for me. Like, I don't know that anything's going to top it as a summer blockbuster.
I don't know. I'm pretty hyped for Superman.
I think that's just going to be a good movie, though.
I wouldn't be as hyped for Superman if it wasn't for James Gunn, but like fucking James Gunn, like after Guardians 3, it's like I don't know, man. I'm pretty hyped.
I agree. I just expect that to be like a good movie overall, where this is like a great blockbuster.
I am not hyped for Fantastic Four though, and I'm not hyped for that movie specifically because the marketing campaign for that movie has turned into like, hey, we're just going to show you the whole movie through clips. So yeah. Anyways, all right, folks, it's been fun. Stay tuned. Dragon and I are going to do a spoiler cast on The Bear season 4. Have you been watching The Bear, PerGron?
I have not. I haven't even seen all of season 3 yet.
Season 3 is tough. Season 3 is like, it's hard to get through.
Yeah.
I feel like after watching season 4, it's kind of like, it's kind of necessary for the character development, but I get it. I really didn't like season 3 either. Season 4 is fantastic, though. I think season 4 is my favorite of the 4 seasons.
Maybe I'll have to push through 3 just to get
I think you should. I'm sorry your mother didn't like it, Eli. I really liked it. All right. Okay, that's it, everyone. See y'all later.
Bye-bye.
This movie's good because it had dinosaurs.